Hi and welcome or welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. So today we are here with my magical readathon Spring Equinox TBR. So it is the start of the first term of the magical readathon, the book from G Roast. This is going really well. That G from Book Roast has created. I did take part in this magical readathon before when it was the Owls and the Newts one time, but that was 2-3 years ago now, so it has been a while since I took part and since it was last on as well. But I'm very excited to say that she is back with another amazing readathon that she has actually created herself, which is just amazing. Please go and check out the videos down below, which I will link, because she will explain this readathon a lot more than me. But basically, we had a kind of mini readathon last year to get us into the swing of magical readathon. That was in September, and that was to read prompts travelling to this kind of academy, magical academy that we will be studying at. And then we had a few character prompts, which I haven't fully fleshed out my character, but I can tell you kind of where she is from and a few other things about her, because I have done the character prompts if I can find out where they are saved on my phone. So my character has a wildling background. She is from the province of Erythea. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I really should listen closely when G pronounces it, because I am not entirely sure. And her heritage is an earthling. She's an earthling. So that is the things I've decided so far. And apparently I still have something to decide under earthling, because they're different types of earthlings. I am not sure on the rest because I haven't actually done the conduit bit, which was in the Magical Readathon Aurelium Gear Up readathon that was on the other week. So I do need to properly fill out my Scholar's Key and make sure my character has a name and things like that, because I have absolutely no idea what she's called. But she is going to be, in this magical readathon, a Feywild cartographer. So as you can probably tell, I am not the best person to explain this readathon to you, so as I said, please go and check out G from Book Roast's actual announcements and things like that, because she will definitely explain this a lot better than me. But essentially this is kind of a RPG game style readathon where we create our own characters, we travel to this magical academy, and then we complete certain tasks and prompts, which would be exams, to pick a career choice and travel on to actually be in that career. So in the spring equinox we get to choose what studies we do, and that basically is linked with prompt, so that's the books we read, and the autumn equinox we actually take exams. And the exams we take in autumn depend on the ones we do in spring, so we are kind of starting now with our choices. As I said, I chose to be a Feywild cartographer, which is a new career path, I think, that's just been added, which is to map, which I don't know if you know this about me, but I absolutely love maps, they fascinate me. And this is to actually map a kind of region in the world. There is so much thought gone into this readathon, honestly, it's incredible. I have so much admiration for G. But yeah, I love the idea of being a cartographer. I was very torn between being the like animal one and the cartographer one. I can't remember what the animal one's called. Beast something? Beastmaster and the cartographer, but I went with the cartographer, which actually has a lot more prompts. I have to read 7 books, but it's all good. It's fine. I've chosen some great reads which I'm very excited for, so I'm basically going to take you through these, and I will just put a little thing on the screen down here to show you what my kind of studies will entail, which is in the spring equinox and things like that. So I'll just put that here for a second so you can see which classes I will be taking, I guess. And then as we go through, I will also tell you what that means for my character. So we have the syllabus, which is a great kind of tool to decide, depending on the school that we're at and the course focus, which prompts we will be fulfilling. So as you can see, my first prompt for the spring equinox is elemental studies, and that is linked to a prompt which is a book under 100 pages. Now, I don't actually have a book under 100 pages. this is a great excuse for me to just buy a book off my TBR. And one that's come up, which is actually one of the only books, or maybe the only book that's under 100 pages on my want to read list, is Nightlight. And this is a graphic novel that my lovely friend Amy has already read and absolutely loved, and I've wanted to read it for a while. She said it is very, very cute, and I'm really excited to read it, and it's only 60 pages, so I'm actually going to pick that one up if I can find a copy of that and read that one in April. So I need to get onto that. I don't really know much about this one. It says it follows a girl called Sandy who sees these tiny stars appear out of the darkness in her bedroom. She catches them and then creates wonderful creatures to play with until she falls asleep, and in the morning brings them back to life in her whimsical drawings. When a mysterious new girl appears at school, Sandy's drawings are noticed for the first time. But Morphe, the new girl at school, his fascination with Sandy's talent soon turns into something far more sinister. Very excited to see how they can cram that into 60 pages, but we will see, and look out for my thoughts on that in my April wrap-up. The second one is Shapeshifting, which is really a book with claws on the cover, and I've gone for The Conference of the Birds by Ransom Riggs, which is the 5th novel in the Miss Peregrine series, and it has this crow or raven on the cover which will have some kind of claws or talons. So I'm excited to finally be finishing this series. I'm hoping I can actually finish it because both of the books are in this TBR. To actually get me to finally read it. This also came up in my mini golf TBR, so there's no excuses. I have to finally finish this series. It's been a couple years since I read The Map of Days, and it's been a lot longer since I read Miss Peregrine's itself, but these I see as two kind of separate trilogies completely, so I won't tell you much about this because I don't want to spoil any of the series for you, but you can check out the original, which is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which is the first book. And I have found a little bit of a wrap-up for A Map of Days on the Penguin website, so I'm going to read that before I actually go into this book because it's been a while, and then I'm hoping to finish this series back to back, hopefully. And the next one on there is Animal Studies, and that is to read a quick read, and I picked a book out for this and I don't know where it's gone. This is chaotic. Okay, it was on the bottom of the pile and it's only a little book, but for this one, which is Animal Studies, I have chosen Moomin Summer Madness by Tove Jansson. I'm very excited to read this. I've had this for a while. Courtney actually bought this one for me for Christmas, and it is part of the Moomins collection, which is a series, and I think this is the 6th book in the series, but she did a bit of research before she bought this one for me to see the best kind of order to read these in, and apparently a lot of people said this one was a good one to start with, and as we're getting into spring I thought it'd be a great one to read, and also Moomins fit perfectly in Animal Studies. It works. So very excited to finally be picking this one up and starting the Moomin series, which I've been meaning to do for so long. So yeah, I'm going to be reading this one. And then we have Astronomy, which is top of your to be read list. So I've gone for Skander and the Unicorn Thief by A.F. Steadman. This is a magical middle grade with elemental magic and unicorns that comes out on the 28th of April. And this one was actually sent to me by Simon & Schuster quite a while ago. So thank you for this beautiful proof. And I do need to read it in April because I'd like to read it before it comes out on the 28th. So this is definitely the top of my TBR. And then for Alchemy, we have a book featuring romance, and I've gone for Good Intentions by Kasim Ali. This hasn't been out for long. I think it came out in March. But again, I had a proof of this one sent to me by HarperCollins, so I do want to read this one soon. And this one actually kind of reminds me of The Big Sick, which is a film I absolutely loved. And it follows Nur, who is with a girl that his family actually disapproves of. And I think it's kind of his battle between choosing what he wants and choosing what his family wants as well. And I can't remember really why this reminds me of The Big Sick, other than they spend a lot of time with the in-laws as far as I remember. But I don't think there's any kind of illness or hospital visit. But yeah, very excited to read this. I've had my eye on it for a very long time. And I was lucky enough to be sent a proof of it quite a while ago, so I definitely need to get to it. So I thought, why not put it on this TBR? And then we have Inscription, which is an intimidating read, and I have gone for The Desolations of Devil's Acre by Ransom Riggs, which is the 6th and final book in Miss Peregrine's. As you can see, this is quite a thick one, and the fact that I haven't finished this series, even though I've had these 2 books since they came out respectively, I think really does deserve this spot as an intimidating book, because I just still haven't read it. I'm trying to also find out how long this book is, but there's a deleted scene in the back and there's information. It's around 500 pages, so it's quite thick, so I am quite intimidated by it, but hopefully it won't be too bad once I actually get started. And this forces me to finally finish this series after so long, so yeah, that's the one I will be reading for that prompt. And the last one is Demonology, and the prompt for that is read a book with the word shadow in the title. And I only had a few books that I haven't read with this word in the title, and I've gone for The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This actually fit into my mini golf TBR as well, so that worked out very well for me. And this is another intimidating book. I've wanted to read this for a very long time because it's Booksnest, who's one of my favourite booktubers' favourite book, or at least it was for a very long time. And this is a mystery book following a book within a book, and this guy who is the main character is following the mystery of this author of the book that he picked up in this library in Barcelona. So this is a translated work of fiction. And yeah, I've wanted to read it for a long time, so I'm very excited to be able to have an excuse to actually pick it up, because it's one of those books that I think I need an excuse, because I am also finding this one a bit intimidating. Even though it's actually not that long, it's under 400 pages, I think. Oh, it's just about 400 pages. The text is quite small, so hopefully I'll be able to read this one fairly easily in April, because I also have a lot on in April on top of all this reading. But I am actually going to go now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my other April TBR if you'd like to, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye.